Now then, the subject of this short talk is atheism. Such a simple little subject. And it brought to mind because of the last time we had the Saturday here on the open day. Mick in particular was trying to talk to a young fella who was all over the place, and every time Mick tried to put a cogent argument to him, he was talking about aliens and Freemasonry and etc. And so that stuck in my mind about how people are when they are basically atheists. Okay. The dogmas of atheism and Christian answers to those. There is no God. There is no objective truth. There is no ground for reason. There are no absolute morals. There is no ultimate value. There is no ultimate meaning. And there is no eternal hope. Some famous atheists include Friedrich Nietzsche, Karl Marx, Bertrand Russell, and the Frenchman Auguste Comte. Not heard of him apart from when I've been giving it as an example. Russell's reason for rejecting God's existence is this. At some point he read John Stuart Mill's humanist autobiography and happened upon this sentence. My father taught me that the question, who made me, cannot be answered, since it immediately suggests the further question, who made God? He stated this very simple sentence showed me, Bertrand Russell, the fallacy of a first cause. However, the argument can easily be countered or refuted, for only things that have a beginning need a cause. Jean-Paul Sartre admitted that he once believed in God, but later abandoned his own conviction. Only once did I have the feeling that he existed. I had been playing with matches and burned a small rug. I was in the process of covering up my crime, and suddenly I felt that God saw me. I felt his gaze inside my head and on my hands. I flew into a rage. I blasphemed, and God never looked at me again. There are some new atheists, Daniel Dennett, a professor of philosophy, Christopher Hitchens, who's now actually been deceased for a few years, Sam Harris, an author, and the most famous that we all get to know, Richard Dawkins, an evolutionary biologist. The popularity of new atheism has come in somewhere as a direct threat following the 9/11 event. Dawkins has argued thus: many of us saw religion as a harmless nonsense. It might lack all supporting evidence. If people needed a crutch for consolation, where's the harm? September the 11th changed all this. Faith is not harmless nonsense. It can be lethally dangerous nonsense. Dangerous because it gives people unshakable confidence in their own righteousness. Dangerous because it gives them false courage to kill themselves. Dangerous because it teaches enmity to others. Dangerous because we have all bought into a weird respect which uniquely protects religion from normal criticism. And now he puts this a bit strongly, bear with this. Let's now stop being so damned respectful. However, he has overlooked the following. The record-breaking tens of millions killed by atheistic, even loosely regimes during the last century. 77 million were killed in communist China. 62 million in the Soviet Gulag state. 21 million non-battle killings by the Nazis. 2 million killed by the Khmer Rouge. We can go on, but I won't. These figures show that these killings add up to many times more deaths than all religious wars put together in all centuries of human history. To summarize, anyone who rejects the existence of God must believe the following. Matter is eternal. Matter without life created life. Matter without mind created mind. Matter without intelligence created intelligence. Matter without morals created morals. Matter without conscience created conscience. Matter without purpose created purpose and order. The Greek philosopher Plato stated, "Atheism is a disease of the soul before the error of his mind." Nietzsche stated, "But we do not all want to enter into the kingdom of heaven. We have become men, so we want the kingdom of men." G.K. Chesterton quoted, and this is a paraphrase, and this brought me on to the fact that we've discussed it with Mick about this young man and his problem. When people stop believing in God, they do not believe in nothing, they believe in anything. Atheism is rationally impossible. In order to be an atheist, one must prove there is no God, refute all the evidence for the existence of God, explain away the reality of Christ, remove the evidence for the resurrection of Christ, disprove the prophecies in the Bible, demonstrate the Bible is a fraud, and establish the credibility of atheism. Two more opposing points of view on this subject. The philosopher-scientist Thomas Nagel, and this is typical of a man who's at the top of really the scientific community of a lot of universities and the science departments. This is what he says. "I want atheism to be true. And I am made uneasy of the fact that some of the most intelligent and informed people I know are religious believers. It isn't just that I don't believe in God, it's that I hope there is no God. I don't want there to be a God. I don't want the universe to be like that." However, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who you remember, who's a Nobel Prize winner, and who's a former Soviet prisoner of conscience in the Gulag system, says, "If I today were asked to formulate as concisely as possible the main cause that swallowed up 60 million of our people, I could not put it more accurately than to repeat, men have forgotten God. That is why all this has happened." And finally, maybe a little bit of humour to end this. Some time ago, they buried an atheist dressed up in a beautiful suit. After a tombstone was placed on his grave, a cynic wrote the following: "Here lies an atheist, all dressed up and nowhere to go. Atheism is a journey without destination, a body without a soul, a religion without reason, life without meaning, a faith without hope, and a universe without God." Having said that, we all know where this particular person was heading. Thank you.